Just imagine if you got trapped in a cave where time outside moves very slowly compared to inside, and escaping from it is almost impossible. That's the kind of story we have today. At the beginning, we see a professor named Harper. He was searching for his family who had gone missing around 1970, along with his dog Boss. They were looking for the fountain of youth, a spring whose water could keep them young forever. One day, Harper saw a cave in the forest. When he approached it, he spotted a wild man inside holding an old-fashioned gun, as if time had stood still for him. Shocked and disturbed, Harper returned home. He was supposed to go on this mission with his students Taylor and Jackie, but after coming back, he told them he would complete the mission alone. Returning to the cave, Harper noticed an invisible barrier separating the outside world from the cave's inside. He decided to enter. The moment he did, the man frozen in time started moving, and 2 whole days passed for Harper. However, Taylor and Jackie hadn't received any messages from him. They decided to search for Harper. Taylor asked his crush Kara to bring her grandfather's car. Kara's little sister and her friend, who were working on a school project, also came along. These experienced people knew it was dangerous, but still chose to bring the kids with them. In the forest, they found Harper's family van, which made them realize Harper had lied. He wasn't searching for some wild people from 1970, but actually looking for his own family. Then they discovered an old rope leading to the other side of the cave. When they found the rope cut, they thought it couldn't be Harper's because it was too old. To find Harper, they had to go inside the cave, which was very deep. One by one, they decided to descend, except Kara, who stayed behind because she was too scared. While going down, Kara felt the same invisible barrier Harper had experienced. One by one, they crossed it. Meanwhile, Harper followed the wild man deeper inside and began feeling something strange. A strange light was coming from one side, as if someone was deliberately dimming it. Then Harper heard someone screaming loudly and suddenly found himself outside the cave. Earlier, we had seen that when Harper entered the cave, it was bright and sunny outside. But just 5 minutes after coming out, the outside world had completely changed. The trees and plants on his property had withered, and it was already quite late at night. It felt as if 5 minutes had passed inside the cave, but 360 years had gone by in the outside world. He noticed the SUV and Jackie's bag nearby and realized they must have come looking for him. So he decided to return to the cave. Meanwhile, the children were moving further into the cave when suddenly they heard someone screaming. Frightened by the noises, the girls ran toward the exit, but before they could get out, the rope snapped, causing Jack and Taylor to get seriously injured. Taylor tried pulling another rope, but it too was cut. They began to suspect that Neurasia had played a trick on them by cutting the ropes. They tried to contact Fabi via radio, but there was no response. After a while, they heard a faint voice. Fabi was calling for help. With no other options, they decided to leave the injured Jack behind and press further into the cave. On the other side, they found another cut rope lying next to a dead body whose guard was broken. They immediately checked the army's camera footage to find out what had happened. From a diary, they read that the cave contained magical water that could cure any illness. Since Hopper's sister was suffering from an incurable disease, their family had come searching for this water. Days passed outside the cave, but it continued trying to find his friends inside. While only seconds had passed inside, many days went by outside. As soon as Nee entered the cave again, his rope broke and he fell hard to the ground. Although he didn't die, he remained unconscious for an hour. When he woke up, he tried to call for help on the radio. But then, a wild man attacked him and killed him. Veer noticed something very strange. The camera recordings showed many days, but they had only been inside the cave for 1 hour. Since Tiger and Jackie were injured, only Kara and Veer were left. They managed to exit the cave to find help. Kara climbed out just as he had entered, but when he reached the surface, he saw that the world outside had completely changed. There were no trees or plants anywhere, and the air was strange and difficult to breathe. A massive sandstorm was approaching him, and he even saw a huge triangular-shaped object flying in the sky. There was no one outside to help, so he went back into the cave. However, the others began accusing him of never even trying to ask for help. This was all happening because there were still some dangers inside the cave, even though Kara had spent a full 30 minutes outside. After that, everyone understood that time outside the cave was passing much faster compared to inside, which made everything inside seem very slow. Aylin explained to the others that this was why their ropes kept breaking, because the rapid passage of time outside had aged the ropes. Hearing this, she once again watched the camera recording and realized that the direction of the sun kept changing. Bright light meant summer, and dim light meant winter. It seemed as if an entire month passed in just 1 second. This meant that for every second spent inside the cave, an entire year passed in the outside world. In other words, since they had entered the cave, 5,400 years had passed on Earth. When Karna tried to step outside again, suddenly he found himself in a very futuristic, high-tech straight cave. Along with him was a huge robotic spacesuit. Suddenly, wild cavemen attacked him, but they were quickly defeated. Their group, frightened, ran to the other side of the cave. Along the way, they found the bodies of a wild man and Hopper's family. 3 more wild men stood ready to attack them. The tiger tried to fight them off, but the wild men brutally killed him. The rest of the girls fled forward to save their lives. When Karna returned and saw Taylor's body, she broke down crying. At that moment, the alien in the spacesuit appeared before her. He picked up Dyler's body and threw it into a pond. Through the miraculous power of the water, Taylor came back to life. But then the wild cavemen arrived and attacked the alien. During the fight, his helmet fell off, and he could no longer breathe the cave air. Yet he managed to overpower all the wild men. Before dying, the alien showed them some videos in which news reports covered their disappearance. It was revealed that 5,000 years later, to save humanity, all humans had to be relocated to another planet. Now everyone understood that there was no way back to their own world. They had to decide whether to escape from the cave or remain there forever. At that moment, Taylor found Hopper nearby in very bad condition. He was trapped under a tiny invisible layer of pearls. On the other side were Hopper's sister and their entire family, all frozen in time. They had come here searching for the Fountain of Youth. The alien explained that the cave was actually a security system created to protect the Fountain of Youth. After each visible layer, the speed of time changed drastically. The deeper you went inside, the slower time moved. They tried to revive the wounded Jackie and Mark with the water from the pond, but the remaining wild men continued to attack. Now they had no way to escape, so they decided to use the alien's high-tech CD to get out of the cave. As they reached the surface, they saw water beginning to flood the area. Yara tried to escape through the water, but was suddenly caught by terrifying creatures. Later, it was revealed that these creatures were actually humans from 5,000 years in the future. In just a few moments, Palmbayat returned to the cave, wearing a spacesuit and carrying a high-tech rope. Using this, everyone inside the cave was rescued. Eventually, Hopper and his family were also brought back to life. Now they were all aboard a massive spaceship heading to a new planet where the rest of humanity had settled. And this is where the story ends. Thank you for watching the video. Do like and subscribe the channel for more videos like this.